Hey everyone, I'm just here to talk to you today about how to set up a layer 2 network and make it simple. A lot of you asking how can you make it simple? Then it already is. Well, to make a layer 2 network, you have to remove all the IPs. It has to be strictly layer 2, which is MAC address, where you attach data to that MAC address frame and it sends it across the line. Today I'm just going to go over a few things on what you'll need. The things you'll need if you're setting up for a customer, you'll need network diagrams. That'll tell you how many users are on the network, how many devices you need to configure, and the carbon footprint of the entire exercise. You also learn the network there, the implementations, and everything you'll need to know in order to configure a network and keep it simple. Another thing we'll talk about is troubleshooting. Hopefully we don't have to do any of that in this exercise and it runs smoothly. I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into our topology. We have a router, which is layer 3, a core switch, which is layer 3, and then 2 layer 2 switches. That's where I'm going to be configuring, and 4 PCs. For this exercise, I'm just going to configure this switch, this layer 2 switch, and these 2 PCs, and then I'll show you the SVI, the switch virtual interface, on our layer 3 switch. We're going to assume that both of these are configured, and then you'll have to do this layer 2 switch on your own. Just mimic exactly what I did here for the respective ports. Alright, we have a network up here, 192.168.1.0/24, and I subnetted it down to 2/25s, which gives it about 62 IPs per network, which we only need about 4 IPs, really, 4 or 5 for these 4 computers. Alright, we're just going to go ahead and jump right into our layer 2 switch, and we're going to do a quick show on the IP interface brief. This will tell us what ports are plugged into something. It'll say up if it's plugged in. 23 and 24 are your PCs right here, and let's scroll up. I have 3 through 6. These are your switches. It connects to your core switch. These 2, 3 and 4, and then 5 and 6 go to your other layer 2 switch. And those are going to get trunk ports, and the PCs are going to get access ports. Trunk ports can send multiple VLANs across a link, which is why they're going from switch to switch. And then a access port can only send one VLAN, which is going to its destination, the PC. Let's go right into an interface. Range, I'm going to do a range command because they're all going to get the same configuration. Switch port mode trunk, and then I'm going to save it, and then we're going to go interface range F0/23/24, switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 30. We're going to exit out of here, create our VLAN 30. Oops. Name it users, because it's going to our users. Save your configuration. Alright. We're going to see in here, we have DHCP enabled. It has, looks like it has an IP in there. Do IP config real quick. Alright, it does show that we have 192.168.1.139 is the IP, and default gateway is 129, which is our SVI on our layer 3 switch. We're going to ping it real quick just to make sure it is accurate. 192.168.1.129, and it is successful. We're going to do the same thing down here. We're going to do an IP config, and it is successful as well. Alright, now we're going to go up to our layer 3 switch. I'm going to show you the SVI VLAN 30. It's 129 interface VLAN 30. That's your switch virtual interface. It's not an actual interface. And it's going to help you configure DHCP, your DHCP pool, which allows these PCs to gain an IP automatically without you having to actually hand put it in there. we already tested it. Everything is successful. I won't go over how to configure your interface VLAN right now because it's layer 3, and I won't go over the DHCP. That's also layer 3. That'll have to be for another video. The troubleshooting steps that I talked about earlier would take place if you were not able to ping successfully. And when that happens, you need to check first off your physical connection. You need to go to your Excel switch and check to see if it's plugged in, and then ping again. If it's not plugged in, then plug it in, obviously, and then ping again. If it still doesn't work, then check your configurations, and if the configurations aren't right, fix it. Put all your outgoing ports to switches as trunks and your outgoing ports to PCs as access, and then you should be golden. I would also check to see if it goes back to physical, check to make sure your cable is tipped correctly, because that could be an issue at times too. And that's pretty much it. That should take care of your troubleshooting with this. It's layer 2. It's very simple. There's not much you have to do to it. Today we went over how to configure a trunk port, an access port, all the items you would need, and configure a network, being network diagrams. And we also talked about the SVI, switch virtual interface, but it's more of layer 3. So that is pretty much it. Thank you very much.